Hello, everyone. My name is Marie-Helene, and I'm with Effective Placement. My company is Marie-Helene in Effective Placement, and I work in the area of human resources, talent acquisition, and career facilitation. One of the areas that is often a frequent discussion is that of resume writing and cover letters. And right now there's a big push for, resumes to be done through AI. And while that may be an option that works for a draft, it's clearly not an option that works in terms of long term results. The purpose of a resume is to get an interview, not a job offer. That may or may not happen. That depends entirely on the person and on the position being interviewed for, and really on the company. However, a good and well written resume will definitely get you interviews. I know this from previous experience and having worked with many clients. So, the highlights of a resume, people often put a resume together, and the first thing that I tend to see working as a recruiter or a talent acquisition expert in various industries is they want to tell me all about their credentials or their degrees. And really, you're not selling your degrees. What you're selling is your experience. What you're selling is your capacity to be able to do the job that you've applied for or to take on a higher level position that you currently have. So it's incumbent upon everyone to have a resume that sells their skill set. There is a place for your certifications and for your educational qualifications, there's no question. However, that's not where you start off. A good resume has several key areas to it, and the first begins with an overview of your skill set and the highlights of your accomplishments. Then you move on to your experience in the various positions that you've held. Then you can talk about your certifications, your education, and then you have a little category that talks about your pastimes or what you like to do. And some people say, well, why do I have to provide that? And it's pretty simple. An employer wants to hire somebody that they have some sort of affinity for. They don't just want to hire someone that they don't have anything in common with. So if they see that you, for example, are an avid canoeist and they like to canoe, then that gives you some common ground. So it's pretty important to highlight and focus on that. The other area to focus on a lot is your skill set. What have you accomplished for your employer? What have you turned out? What areas have you really been good at in terms of achieving outstanding results where you exceeded their expectations and you exceeded the expectations of many numbers of people? What areas have you been involved with that have caused something different to be born or a new product or service to emerge? These are really important. So your accomplishments should be quantifiable in some way. So something like I accomplished the sales targets within a 8-month period, 4 months ahead of schedule, or I completed a project ahead of time and on budget, and the work was rolled out within scope. Those are areas that employers would be keenly interested in. And then the other thing is do you always need to have a cover letter? And my response to that one is I personally, as a recruiter, hated looking at several documents, and I never did really. I would just like to look at one. So if you insert your cover letter into the resume, it's looked at. And as a recruiter, I would look at that. But if I had to look at a resume, look at a covering letter, look at attached documents around certifications or degrees, it quickly became something that was a bit more onerous from me. You have to remember that most talent acquisition specialists have a lot of jobs that they're working on. They have a lot of candidates that they need to sift through. So they're not going to take a lot of time to necessarily look at a lot of documents. And while applicant tracking systems or ATS systems are important and they do play a role in terms of helping to narrow down candidates, there still are a number of candidates that recruiters want to look at. So the simpler the process in terms of documents, the more likely you are to have a good resume and have someone look at it. So, from my perspective as a talent acquisition specialist and as someone who's worked with multiple companies, that international companies, I should add, that are have various operations in many countries, it is really a good plan to have a well structured and well put together resume, one that doesn't just try to sell your education, one that actually sells what it is that you can do for the company. That's a key feature and one that is often very much overlooked. And again, I'm not negating AI, but AI at this point in time isn't that intuitive. It's really going to do more of a formula. And let's remember what AI is. It's a tool that brings together whatever's out there. So it doesn't really have the intuitive capacity to give something that's original. Original content still comes from the creator. So that's something to keep in mind. I hope this has been helpful for you in relation to resume tips. Please do touch base with me. You can book an appointment with me at my website, which is Marie-Helene and Effective Placement. I'll put the link below the video, and I look forward to connecting with you or speaking with you soon. Thanks very much. I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.